I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Eshare, stick it in the bull. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Eshare, stick it in the bull. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, not the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Eshare, stick it in the bull. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Eshare, stick it in the bull.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our live AMA. I am joined by my co-host with the most and fellow team member, LA. LA, you're back. How are you?
I'm good. How's everyone doing tonight?
Awesome, no doubt. We had a lot of people missing you. The last AMA, I know you had a lot going on, and you're also preparing for consensus, so we'll talk about that in the AMA today, but we're happy to have you back. And just to make sure, can everybody hear me okay? I know the last AMA we were having some technical difficulties, so let me know if you guys can hear me. Also, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, awesome, loud and clear. All right, good deal. We figured it out. So it only took me a year and a half to be a good YouTuber. Anyway, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. All of the engagement helps, get our message out there, and all the ad revenue is used to support EMP. So without further ado, we're going to have a very short and sweet one today, I hope. We'll answer as many last minute questions as we can. I know I said we were about 75% sure we'd have the white paper ready for all of you today. Unfortunately, we have one more last minute meeting tonight with some final updates. But again, I think we're 99% sure that we'll have the white paper out on Thursday. So a few more days.
Here's the good news, though.
Yeah, go ahead,
It
LA.
is more than 75 done, though.
It is 100%.
I'm looking at it right now, and it looks freaking amazing. So
Yeah.
sorry, I don't mean to say that as a tease, but I mean to say that in regards to, like, you're allowed to get your hopes up because it is like very close to being finished. And
Totally.
I'm quite confident it will be coming out on Thursday.
Yep, no, 100%. And we've been getting some last minute graphics finished with Mike G. Shout out to Mike G. Those of you in the community will know who he is. He's been one of our amazing designers that has really helped bring this together. And like I've said all along, the white paper is going to be much more visual than you may be used to in a GitHub or something like that. So we're excited to bring that out, and again, hopefully illustrate things a little bit easier for you. I know it's hard sometimes to listen to me tell you what Fusion will be. I think once you see it, again, more graphically, it will help people understand a little bit better too. So for the visual learners, but yeah, I mean we're almost there, and just to give one more quick disclaimer, this is the V1 of the white paper. So by the time Fusion actually goes live, there may be some other edits that we make, but this will give you a lot of clarity on what we're doing and how this all will roll out. A lot of the burning questions that you all have had will finally be able to be answered. And like I said, or like both LA and I have said all along, there's a lot of sensitive information in the white paper that once you all will read this, you'll understand what we've been saying about how PEG is almost guaranteed. And so, you have a few more days to accumulate Eshare and EMP. Again, the markets overall have pulled back a little bit. BNB is down, ETH is down, therefore EMP and Eshare are both a little down, and this could be a great opportunity to load up one more time before that white paper, and then we'll experience that slow, continual up and to the right that we've seen over the last few weeks. So everything is looking really, really good. So, LA, before we get into it, anything you want to go over or any comments? Again, I know everybody was missing you from last week, but go ahead.
Yeah, I missed you guys too. I came back late that night and I read all the comments in the chats, and everyone was just buzzing over everything that you shared with all of the graphics, and it was so awesome to read. Sorry, that literally happens every time. Everyone was buzzing and so excited, and it was just so awesome to read. It made me really have some FOMO that I hadn't been there.
Totally. No, absolutely. Again, we're all getting prepared for the imminent release of Fusion. I think everybody's excited. I know a lot of our community has already been loading up. PEG is looking much better than it did, even just a few short weeks ago. So we're almost there. So all right, I think I guess we can go one more time over Fusion. Let me go ahead and pull up the image here. Again, and if there is some last minute questions any of you have, I'm happy to try to answer those as well. And then we'll share some other updates. Again, today's going to be pretty much short and sweet, and then we'll talk a little bit about consensus as well. I know a lot of you are actually planning to come out to Austin, so we'll talk about that too. All right, give me 1 minute while I pull this up. Bear with me. All right, here we go. So this is EMP Fusion. Again, I'm going to just give a high-level overview rather than reading step by step. But and again, in the white paper, there'll be a lot more clarity to a lot of these. But everything is going to function around what we're calling the central grid. So the central grid is basically the backbone of EMP moving forward. It will replace the boardroom, and I know a lot of you have had some concerns about eShare's value and the way our ecosystem will work without a boardroom, but really it actually gives more value to eShare and really protects PEG overall. And we can look to our friends at DEX Finance. DEX Finance has been operating with a very different model, what we're calling protocol-owned emissions, and DEX Finance has been able to maintain PEG indefinitely. I mean, from day one, I think they lost pay for about 2 hours, about a month and a half ago when a large whale exited, but they were able to recover within a few hours, and it works perfectly. So we're borrowing this idea of protocol-owned emissions, which essentially means that the EMP Fusion will be determining if and when any new EMP is released into the ecosystem. And this is really, really crucial because we're no longer reliant on other users. And we've said this a few times. I know Cody brought it up in our AMA last week. But the prisoner's dilemma, that is a situation where you're basically reliant on the good actions of other users. Well, unfortunately, in DeFi, that is very hard to rely on. And so we're getting rid of all the human error that usually happens in Seigniorage protocol and DeFi protocols overall. And we're really, taking all the guesswork and error out of it. So we're able to determine if and when we are ready to release more EMP in the ecosystem. And really, the beautiful part about EMP Fusion is that there really isn't a need to release more EMP into the ecosystem, which will eventually, in the long term, reduce the supply of not only EMP but also potentially Eshare. Even though Eshare is inflationary, we also have a halving model, just like Bitcoin. The amount of inflation reduces by half every year, and so there will be a situation where Eshare may even become deflationary as well, the more fees that the marketplace generates. So there's a lot of amazing things that we have planned. We've spent about 6 months working on EMP Fusion, and we're really excited for what it will be. We've gone over literally almost every edge case and possible scenario that we can. We've done testing, we've done hypothetical situations, and we really feel like everything has been accounted for. So we're getting close. So that again is a high level overview of Fusion, and then you will actually have ownership of the protocol determined by your microgrid. So the central grid is again the backbone of the ecosystem. All of the EMP and Eshare rewards are essentially auto compounded for you in the background. Again, we refer to this as under the hood, something that you never have to worry about, but happens behind the scenes. And through the central grid, EMP always has buy pressure associated with it. So again, when we're below peg, a little bit of those eShare rewards are sold to buy EMP, and then once we recover peg, then there is no really reason to sell those eShare rewards because we'll be able to maintain a perfect peg, and then a large percentage of those rewards will either go towards all of you that are in Fusion as again a disbursement, or they'll go to the treasury to create even more yield. So again, fresh capital coming in and supporting the rewards long term. So that is the game plan, and eventually we do probably want to move towards a more of a DAO model. So this will be something that the code at EMP is less involved in and more involved with those that vote based on what they want to see happen. So again, this is going to be a multi-stage process, and we're just now releasing the very first part of Fusion. We'll have what we call an MVP, or minimal viable product, and that will be just enough to get by and to get the system up and running, and then we'll continue to roll out updates as we go. So, like I said, the microgrid is your personal wallet or personal share of ownership in the protocol. So, the central grid is made up of dozens and dozens of microgrids, and your microgrid is actually sellable. So, in other words, one of the major reasons that we've had issues with peg is that when people want to exit the protocol, it really hurts the peg. And now, by having your ownership encapsulated in a microgrid, you are able to exit the protocol when you're ready, and that never ever shows up as sell pressure on EMP. So that's really important in terms of peg, and again, just one of the many, many reasons why not only are we going to be able to recover peg, but we'll be able to maintain peg. So, LA, anything you want to add about the central grid or the microgrid, or any questions that have popped up so far? Go ahead.
One thing I just want to say is, obviously I'm around to read and participate in the chatter online a lot. And while I appreciate the fact that there's been a lot of speculation and like genuine curiosity and back and forth excitement over, what's going to happen and what's going to be the best strategy, and that's so much fun. I want to invite you to think about Fusion in a brand new way, and not necessarily think about it in the exact same way that you would have thought about EMP and how it works. And that's going to be better understood as we get deeper and deeper into this and as we launch it. But the same way that you've always thought about EMP and how everything operates and, what the best strategies might be and that kind of thing, are not necessarily going to be the same way to wrap your head around things and think about it moving into Fusion, because it is
For
so
sure.
innovative, different, and new. It's gonna come along with a new way to think about it too. And so I don't have a specific example to give you in that respect, just off the top of my head, but it's been something I've been thinking about as I've been reading the chatter in the groups lately. So I just want to invite you to invite yourself to come at Fusion with a brand new way of thinking about things, and not let yourself get stuck in thinking about it in the way that EMP has always operated.
Yeah, no, great point, LA. And I think, that is where some of the confusion, I think, stems from, is that people are trying to apply what they know about seigniorage protocols and how EMP operates to Fusion. And, you're comparing apples to oranges. Again, EMP Fusion is not a fork. It's not a borrowed idea. This is something that is completely revolutionary. It's built from the ground up. Cody, who we've had on multiple times, has been kind of the lead architect of Fusion, and then we have just refined it as a team, and as Jake and all the other developers have started to build this out. We've made it better and better. But yeah, I mean, this is its own animal. There isn't a way to compare it to something else. And to LA's point, there will be some major game theory and strategies that we don't even know about yet. I mean, we're gonna wait until Fusion is up and running, really get a grasp of the different APRs, what the best strategies are, and then we can really start diving in and educating all of you the best that we can. So it will be, it's a process, and the good news is that with all that we have set up, we do envision the rewards and APR being, if not the same, much, much better than what they are now, because we're eliminating all the volatility of PEG. And as you know, some of you know, some of you may not know, but once we are at PEG, the ecosystem fires on all cylinders. So not only is Eshare more powerful, people have a lot more confidence with that PEG ratio, providing LP, because they're not gonna, have impermanent loss, even though impermanent loss is very minimal, because of the ratio to begin with. It gives the whole protocol much more confidence to outside users. So again, it'll be a win-win, and I do see a few questions that we can answer. Somebody says, or Old Man Crypto says, what is it? Actually, before I get to that, there's one for that. Charlie, he says, how will Fusion prevent someone from dumping EMP once pay is reached, since we don't have to buy a share of the central grid? So, yeah, this is really important to understand. So, typically with the boardroom, the way EMP operates now, people will go into the boardroom, they'll get a bunch of new EMP, and the temptation and what we see happen is that people dump on our heads. They sell that EMP rather than using it to provide liquidity and set up a revenue stream. They want their quick profit, and they dump all that EMP. It dumps PEG. It hurts all of us, and then we go right back down to where we're not at PEG. And so with Fusion, we literally eliminate all of that. So we're almost completely eliminating. And again, once the white paper comes out, this will be a lot more apparent. But we are eliminating sell pressure on EMP completely, and we're doing this by, again, encapsulating your ownership through the microgrid, which will be an NFT that you can sell again without ever impacting the ratio of EMP. So if you sell EMP outright, that directly impacts the LP ratio. But if your EMP ETH LP is in an NFT and you sell that NFT, then you're never actually selling EMP on the market, which therefore never negatively hurts PEG. So again, those are some really important concepts to understand, and why this is so bullish for EMP moving forward. So hopefully that answers. Old Man Crypto says, what is the significance of hitting peg or TROP in Fusion? What will or won't happen? So yeah, again, the idea is that by hitting peg, we are just able to offer much more rewards and incentives. Again, part of the all of the emissions of the protocol will be protocol owned, and so if we're at peg, we no longer have to sell eShare to help peg, and all those eShare, which will become energy in Fusion, all that energy will be rewarded to all of you that are in Fusion, just like you're in the farms now. This essentially will replace the farms, and you will be able to earn energy, which can be cashed out through batteries. We did a whole AMA about batteries last week. So if you don't know what a battery is, please watch that AMA. But you'll be able to cash out in any asset you want. I mean, again, more ETH, more stable token. There'll be a bunch of different options. And again, this is also bullish because it eliminates potential selling pressure on even eShare as the reward token because you're able to cash out in other assets through our treasury. So it really is an amazing closed loop ecosystem, and we're excited for what that will hold in store for everybody. So again, TROP will not really be a thing anymore, and once we get back to peg, then that's all you have to worry about is that now we're able to regain and maintain peg. So, all right, one last thing with Fusion is the auto compounding feature. Again, I mentioned this a little bit, but even if you just have the microgrid and you don't have any battery to cash out, all of your energy rewards will be used to basically compound back into the central grid every minute of every day. So just like the Beefy or Yield Wolf auto compounders, the entire ecosystem is now a built-in auto compounder. So you're able to again build your position of the central grid over time. That makes your microgrid even more valuable because it'll represent a larger ownership. And all the while under the hood, that is providing constant buying pressure on EMP no matter what. So that's kind of the third step there. And number four is EMP Fusion will actually be its own revenue stream as well. So there will be a small fee in the marketplace. Again, we alluded to that in the last AMA. It will be very similar to a sales tax here in America, or any of you that are used to sales tax. But rather than that tax going to the treasury, that tax will actually go towards rewards for all of you. So as long as you're in the microgrid, if you have a microgrid, those rewards will be distributed back to all of you. So again, a lot to go over, a lot of stuff. Please don't feel overwhelmed. Once the white paper is out, I think that'll really help. And we're almost there. But that is EMP Fusion in a nutshell. Again, any other questions or anything you want to elaborate on, LA? Go ahead.
I was just going through them to check out. Just give me 1 second. Does the auto compound feature cause inflation?
Yeah, so no. If anything, over time, it will actually cause deflation because if EMP, once, not if, but when EMP reaches peg, then we no longer have to initiate that auto compounding, and we can then divert some of the protocol emissions of eShare to, again, bolstering the treasury or even buying and burning some EMP back. So yeah, they're not mutually exclusive. The auto compounding is completely different than inflation, and really because we already have enough EMP in the ecosystem, um, I don't envision us ever having to actually inflate EMP ever again. So again, this is kind of some inside baseball, but the idea is that we use the EMP that is already in circulation. Even if we get a lot of new users into EMP, typically in a seigniorage protocol, when the ecosystem is ready to expand because of new users, that will allow more EMP to be minted, therefore, inflating the supply. But with Fusion, I really don't envision us having to ever inflate the supply again. So again, to my point earlier, EMP actually and Eshare actually may become deflationary rather than inflationary. So that's even more reason why we're excited for all this, because that those economics are much more sustainable than what we have now, for sure.
Awesome. Mail asks, how often will a conscientious actor be able to take profits? This is an interesting question because, in Fusion, you could technically take profit every single day and not hurt the system. And so, in regards to taking profit, it's actually about yourself and what will benefit you the most. Because it depends if you want to build up your ownership percentage more, or if you are looking to cash out and put it towards something else that you're investing in or whatever you need it for. So I'm sure you'll want to expand that on that, AJ.
Yeah, no, that's great, LA. And yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, that is another really cool part of EMP Fusion is it's really up to you. Again, we're not here to push the buttons for you. You have all the tools at your fingertips. It's up to you how to actually, you know, put those puzzle pieces together. So yes, to LA's point, yeah, you can absolutely cash out once a day or more even, again, some alpha. The cycles will be a 24-hour cycle, but there are some utility batteries or NFTs that may be able to increase your ability to what we call power cycle. Um, every power cycle in your battery is when they emit the rewards. So you may be able to again, beef up your microgrid so much that you're able to power cycle more than once a day. Yeah, the short answer is once or multiple times a day in terms of cashing out. And to LA's point, if you do that, you just have to understand that you will lose some ownership because, again, if you're cashing out and others are compounding, then they gain pool share. And if you cash out um, and others cash out the same, then you maintain pool share. But the idea is that there'll be, different strategies. Maybe one week you focus on compounding, and one week you focus on claiming. There's a lot of different ways to play it. I would say sort of similar, to a 5-1 or I'm sorry, 6-1 or 5-2 strategy and Detonator, but a lot more sustainable in terms of, there is no lottery prize, there is no large depositor, and really it's just up to you on whether you want to build your ownership or you just want to cash out and have cash flow. And another really big difference between Fusion and potentially, Detonator is that it's not a sunk cost. So again, you can choose to compound and build your ownership of your microgrid, and then you could sell that microgrid. So you're not locked into the protocol by any means. And again, we eliminate that good actor, bad actor comparison that we try to get away from because there will be no bad actors because we have guardrails in the ecosystem where even if you wanted to be malicious or try to hurt Peg, you'll no longer be able to. So again, just a lot of really bullish things where EMP Fusion becomes bulletproof especially as we continue to build and grow, and we have the revenue streams from the L1X DEX. We have the revenue streams from our treasury. I mean, this thing could be an absolute monster moving forward for sure. So,
A total monster. So maybe you can go over this a quick overview again. NFT Launcher asks, in step 3, unclaimed energy, what is this in regards to? Do we have to claim our energy? So just before Age goes into it, your energy is your rewards from your central grid. So when he's talking about claiming your energy, he's talking about claiming your rewards that you're earning from the EMP staking pool. And then I'll let AJ continue on from there.
Yep, 100%. So the short answer is no. Everything is done automatically. You don't have to claim your energy. That energy is automatically rolled over back into more ownership. So again, just to put things in easier to understand terms, imagine your microgrid, represents EMP ETH LP. You are able to then use that energy again, if you have a battery, then the energy can go to the battery, and that's what allows you to cash out. But if you turn your battery off or you don't have a battery, then all that energy is used to then buy you essentially more ownership of the protocol. So all that leftover energy is converted to more EMP ETH LP, which again builds your the size of your microgrid. So the bigger your microgrid, the more ownership of the protocol. And again, this will be a lot more easy to understand once we release the actual UI. I had it. We had a preview image in the last AMA. I'll try to pull it up here in a minute, but yeah, I mean, it's all going to be very visual. And so yeah, and then once you have you build up your microgrid, maybe you want to sell a portion of that microgrid, you can do that. So, and that again never hurts EMP at all. So, we'll have options for everybody on how they want to again play the game, so to speak. So,
Awesome. Yeah, and I think the key is there you'll have a few different choices for how you want to play the game. That's kind of the key point to take away from that.
totally. Absolutely. And somebody says, when will Peg be within 1 hour of the white paper release? So I don't think it'll be within 1 hour, but maybe it will be. Maybe there will be some, whale out there that reads the white paper and finally sees, everything that we've been saying all along. We could see Peg very, very shortly after release. And again, that's not to say maybe we don't. Maybe it takes a few weeks, a month, who knows? And that's okay as long as we're going up and to the right in a very gradual manner. That is what is healthy. What is not healthy, is a giant green candle all the way up and a giant red candle all the way down. So we're gonna have to get through some swing traders. There will be some people that just have EMP and maybe don't want to go into Fusion, and if that's the case, then they're not going to be earning anything. But we can buy their EMP off of them for cheap and go into Fusion. So again, there will be volatility, but over the next few weeks and months, we will be a much more sustainable protocol. Will be built for the future, and once the revenue streams start kicking in, again, I mentioned the L1X DEX, our treasury, some other outside investments that we've made. We could see tens of thousands of dollars a day coming in and buying not only EMP if we're below peg, but buying Eshare and ultimately supporting the other parts of the protocol and ultimately just literally sharing those rewards with all of you through the microgrid. So I think this could be everything that we hoped it would be, and what we've been saying from the beginning of EMP is going to be the #1 passive income platform with exposure to Ethereum, again through Peg, but also now, the ability to have exposure to all blue chip assets. And with the impending bull run, I mean, we could really be set up for some insane upside with all of this. So, all right, any other questions, LA?
So, in regards to your question, Tiberius, we are going to hold off on that one until the white paper comes out. Can Eshare only be bought, or will we still earn EMP ETH LP? Oh, even through EMP ETH LP. So, I'll just let you answer that, but that he's not fully understanding how it works yet.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, again, and this will be much more clear in the white paper. There are some things that I can't really get into yet, but yeah, I mean, essentially, what is happening is the farms, as we know it today, you provide EMP ETH LP, you're then rewarded eShare. That exact same principle happens, only not through the farms anymore, only through your microgrid. So you are again providing EMP LP, or just EMP, which again in the white paper that will be much more clear. And then you're rewarded with energy, which is essentially eShare. Again, energy is the e-liquid version of eShare. So once you're in EMP Fusion, you're in the central grid and you have your microgrid, then all eShare is transacted as energy. So energy, again, just like you, again, I don't know, if you were playing a game, on a mobile device, a Web 2 game, or I guess, I don't know, Robux, I think they're called, and Roblox, again, kind of an in-game currency. You can kind of figure energy is the in-game currency of EMP Fusion. So, and again, the only way to get more energy other than earning it is by buying it with eShare. So eShare will be the only, currency of the marketplace. So, and again, once the white paper is out, that will be much more clear. But it puts a ton of utility on eShare. And even if we do allow somebody to use other assets, BNB, BUSD, ETH, to buy things, all of that volume will be routed through eShare. So again, we'll almost have an internal swap where you're essentially using your BUSD to buy eShare and then redeem that eShare. So that could be a ton of buying pressure on eShare. Again, I think people are maybe sleeping on eShare a little bit. We've seen it kind of pull back. I think a lot of people aren't going to be prepared for the amount of utility and potential upside eShare has. I think getting rid of the boardroom has scared a lot of people in terms of the inherent value of eShare, but I can promise you, we've looked at all angles and we would never do something to purposely hurt the price of one of our assets. So all that will come together as Fusion rolls out. All right. Any other questions? Yeah, go ahead.
So this one we already answered, but we don't mind answering it again. When Fusion goes live, what will happen to the farm eShare staked for eShare rewards?
Yeah, absolutely. So we answered that a few weeks ago. Again, I was waiting to get confirmation, but we definitely have it now. So if you're in the eShare pool, again, that is the staked pool. It is a locked farm. However, once Fusion is live, that pool will unlock. So don't get worried that you're going to be locking up Eshare and then miss your window because the time frame doesn't line up. Don't worry about that. Again, I would highly recommend putting it in that farm or pool rather, so you can earn, because it's much better to earn while you wait for Fusion to come to life than to just hold, liquid EMP and liquid eShare in your wallet doing nothing. So again, LP or the eShare pool or up EMP, all of those are good options in the short term until Fusion is out.
Awesome. I'm not sure if you're going to answer this one today or not, but I'll ask you, will EMP still be available to buy and sell on PancakeSwap or only from the marketplace?
Yes, so again, I think we can probably say this now that it's so close to launch. And again, I think all of you've kind of put two and two together. But yes, the idea is that EMP will still act and function as a token, and you will be able to buy it. But we're essentially cutting off the exit streams basically. So and again, I don't want to say too much, but yes, as of right now, EMP will still be purchasable on the market. And whether it's through PancakeSwap or eventually just our own, essentially internal swap, that is still to be seen in the white paper. But yeah, there will be options for sure.
Awesome.
All right.
Lots of good tonight.
Yep, absolutely. And somebody says, what about nodes? So yes, no part of the ecosystem will be forgotten. So there is some vital info in the white paper that will address the e-bonds, the nodes, up EMP, everything that you all have been asking about. And I think once that info is public, a lot of you are going to be really excited for how that's going to operate. And that really ties into why we keep saying that PEG is not if but when, because that will also play into any future purchases of EMP as well. So, all right, I think that is about it. So, all right, again, if there is any other questions, let us know. We're 99% sure we're gonna have it ready for Thursday, and then we'll be around to, talk more about it and kind of again, all next week. We'll go over the white paper together, and then there will be an event that will take place shortly after that, and then after that event, which again will be made clear in the white paper, we'll have the actual launch of Fusion. So we're getting really close. We're talking weeks, not months. And now is the time to prepare if you have not already prepared. So, all right, LA, I know a lot of people are excited for consensus. And
Wait,
yeah, oh,
I
you
just
want
wanted to
to?
say
Yeah,
one last.
okay, no problem. Go ahead.
You've got your date now for the white paper. Everybody, all I've heard about in the chats the last 2 days is when white paper, when white paper. You've got your date now, like 99.9%. It's coming out on Thursday. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting to take action, now's your opportunity. We've said this a trillion times, but there's things in there that are going to cause some major excitement. And so rather than waiting to read it first and acting when everyone else is, when prices are a lot more expensive, now is a great opportunity over the next 3 days to do so when there's still a great opportunity to buy low. So not financial advice, but think about it. But yes, consensus.
Absolutely. No, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, LA. So yeah,
No, you're good.
yeah, I know. We as a lot of you know, I just had a brand new daughter, and I think my wife would kill me if we tried to go on a cross country trip. But that being said, we will have representation at Consensus. So for those of you who don't know, Consensus is one of the premier blockchain conferences in Austin, Texas. And again, hopefully I can drop some alpha here as well. I think it's public knowledge. But the L1X team will also be there. So not only is LA going to be there representing EMP, but she'll also be there representing the L1X DEX, along with a lot of team members from L1X directly. And I may have heard just a few hours before jumping on the AMA that there will be some representation from Dex Finance as well.
Yeah,
So yeah,
there's
did you get the okay from Jake? LA? I think he said he's gonna make it. So yeah.
I did see that, and that's pretty exciting. We're gonna have EMP team, Dex Finance team, and L1X team all there. How badass is that?
Totally. So if you are in the Austin area or want to fly in, I know a lot of our community will be there. I don't want to dox them, but yeah, I know that we're gonna have some definite frequent flyers and amazing emperors and empresses joining us. So yeah, and we'll give some updates as we go. Um, on what days LA will be there. Again, if we can do kind of an impromptu meetup, and then we're also gonna be doing some major networking along the way as well. So
Absolutely, yes. It's going to be awesome. There's a lot of great events there and speakers, and then it's just going to be an incredible networking opportunity to tell as many people as possible about EMP and what we're building, and also about the DEX that's coming.
yes, absolutely. So we'll keep everybody up to date on that. We are trying to work out another conference in Miami shortly after. Hopefully, I'll be able to actually make it to that one. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. And we are working behind the scenes. I know a lot of you have been asking for a Disney meetup or somewhere in Orlando or again Miami, just not during one of the actual conferences. As an EMP meetup, we are working on that towards the end of the year as well. So lots of awesome stuff in the works and really exciting things ahead. And that'll be great timing because not only will Fusion be firing on all cylinders, but L1X will be launched and ready and hopefully generating tons of revenue for again through the DEX for Fusion. So again, the second half of this year is going to be really exciting, and I can't wait. And I think we're all super ready. So speaking of L1X, we have some updates on that. Anything else you're going to say about Consensus LA before we do a few final updates?
No, I don't think so. I think just that I'll keep you guys all updated while I'm there. I may not be on for the full AMAs on or the one on the Thursday night because I'll be there at the event. It's Thursday and Friday, but I'll definitely pop on whenever I can to give you guys an update during those 2 days. And also, we'll work on meeting up with the L1X and DEX teams to hopefully do something special for all you guys and work on whatever we can there to put something out.
Perfect. All right. Nope, that sounds great. And again, just check all of our socials. Again, we have an Instagram, the Twitter, obviously Telegram and Discord for any last minute updates as well. So, all right. One last section here is some L1X updates. They've been killing it with a weekly AMA of their own. So if you're not following L1X, please do so on YouTube as well as their Discord. And they're right on track. I mean, as of the last AMA, their launch is still planned for August, and could potentially even be much sooner. Along with that, they have announced a public sale. So all of you have gotten into the pre-sale already, again at the lowest possible price. But they have announced that they will be doing another round of fundraising at the 50 cent price. Again, the same price as public launch. And this is again just another opportunity for those to get in that haven't gotten in already. Hopefully raise some more funds before the chain goes live. And so we'll have a ton more info on that as well. Obviously, if you've already gotten in, you're way ahead of the game. You're essentially getting 5x on what you got in, and that is that, again, just not even the launch price. It could even be much more than that. So they've also added a new guide on YouTube showing how to set up your wallet, right, LA? I think. Was that the other update? I don't know if you have more info on that.
Yeah. So if you go to the L1X Discord and you click on the announcements tab, they have a new post, and it links you to a YouTube video where they give you a really comprehensive walkthrough on how to set up your wallet. So that's exciting.
Totally. And all the NFTs, for those of you that got in early, all of those should be distributed now. If you haven't gotten your NFT or know how to check it, please join their Discord and either open a ticket or just ask for help in the main. But yeah, I mean, L1X is moving along really, really fast. And us at the DEX, we are finalizing the logo again, we've had about 3 different options that we've been going back and forth on for the last 10 days, but we should have a final decision this week, and then we'll release all of our socials for the deck. So once that's up, again, we'll need your help really getting the word out, and then we could have an MVP or minimal viable product of the deck itself as early as a month away. That would be way, way before the chain is scheduled to launch, and Dex Finance is doing a lot of the heavy lifting on that front, and they've been incredible. So we're excited, and it's not taking away development from Fusion because we partnered with them, and they have an incredible dev team of their own. So lots of awesome stuff. We're again burning a candle at both ends, but we wouldn't have it any other way. At EMP, you know us, we never quit. So yeah, again, really excited for Thursday and the white paper finally being released into the wild. So all right, LA, any other final announcements or comments before we wrap it up?
No, I think that's it. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't wait for you guys to just obviously everyone's excited to read it, but I'm also just excited for you guys to see it because it just looks so good.
Totally.
Yeah, I know you've obviously seen a lot of the graphics already that are going to be on there, but when it all comes together, it looks pretty badass. So yeah, thank you for your patience, everyone. I know that it's been a little bit of a wait, but I promise you it's worth it.
Yep, I could not agree more. I know we're always getting flack for being the king and queen of the teas. But yeah, we promise that it'll be worth the wait, and we just have to do things in a particular order. And once you see the white paper, you'll understand a lot more. And once the white paper is out, please again don't be overwhelmed. This is V1. We could have V2, V3, V4, even, within the first few weeks of Fusion. So there is room to update things as we go, and we'd love to, continue to get everybody's feedback as we continue to build out as well. So,
for
all right.
sure. Yeah. We love that everyone is so open and willing to ask questions, and that will be one of the first things we add to the second version, an FAQ section. There's not currently one on the first draft because so far all of the questions are things that are answered in the white paper, And so once it's out and we have a new round of questions and we see what is getting asked the most frequently, then we will add an FAQ section and put out a second version.
Absolutely. Perfect. All right. Well, I think that'll do it. Again, right on time. Trying to keep these AMAs about an hour. And we'll have a very big AMA on Thursday. So everybody get prepared for that. Spread the word and continue to, again, do some research into all the previous AMAs that we talked about leading up to Fusion so that you're well prepared. All right. Without further ado, thanks so much. Appreciate all of you, and we will be back on Thursday. So, as usual, all our AMAs are twice a week now. That is 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the way out. So, all right, good night, good day. We'll see you all on Thursday.